All right. Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Obviously, teaching for heritage. I hear a lot of stories about what all of you are going through. And I'm not saying I'm thankful I'm not in the classroom right now, but I certainly carry a lot of empathy for the stories that I'm hearing, the hard things that people have been through, the tough adjustments, the excitement, the joys. And I know the uncertainty of looking forward to fall because I have teachers in my family. And I have someone that's an assistant superintendent that just lives a couple of houses down from me. So I know how real that anxiety is. So I'm excited to talk about kids that fall through the cracks, whether you're teaching them digitally or whether you're in the classroom. What I discovered right away is 20 minutes was not enough time to tell you. So I've rewritten this like several times. What I came up with was sharing a story that I have about a group of very, very to the extreme at-risk kids that were lost in the cracks, sharing a little bit of that story, giving you several things, in fact, 3 that made a huge difference for me. And then on your handout, I gave you some ideas of things that you could use. And later on, when you get to that, let me know if you need some help. So let's talk about these kids. I taught all the grades 6 to 12, and I ended up with this group of seniors that I'm going to share with you about today. Promise you, none of them started school thinking that they weren't going to graduate. That's not how it begins. And yet my kindergarten teachers, my first grade teachers, and right on up all tell me about kids they have that are not buying into school and they're falling through the cracks and they're trying to reach them. So as we know, there's a whole variety of things that are coming into play here, things that are going on at home, the environment, the lack of reading skills and vocabulary that kids bring to the classroom, kids being afraid, traumatic things. Some kids have more than others, but there's just lots of things that bring that child at 5 years old, 6 years old, moving right on through my kids who are 18, 19, and 20 that are still in school. So this is really personal for me. One is that I ended up with this group of 45 kids, the most at-risk kids in the school that no one wanted to teach. And I was told and forced to take them. I said no, that I would quit first because I was almost ready to retire. And I was told no, that I would joyfully take them. And so I did. And it was the most wonderful experience in my life because I've studied neuroscience forever and I had to find out if I really believed it. You know what I mean? It's great to teach it. It's great to study it, but I really believe it could change kids' lives. The other thing that became personal for me is that I have 3 IEP grandkids, and I walked through the trenches, especially with one of them who was online to fail. And I can tell you up front, on the other side of the fence, it was also excruciating. So I want to share some of those stories, and I'm hoping I can get you excited a little bit. I know that all of you have already done great things, so don't think that I'm thinking you're all sitting there not working with these kids. I get it that you are. So everybody, are you ready for a great, whatever we got, 20 minutes? Ready? Okay.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah, I can hear Mike. I'm going to make you all do that out loud at the end. So listen, the thing is we all have a narrative in our head. I bet you've all said these things because you know what? Back in the day, I did too. Like Brenda, you don't get it. I have too many students in my classroom. I have too many at-risk kids in my classroom, too many autistic kids in the classroom. I don't have enough resources. And now you have the layer of COVID and how this is being structured. And I'm trying to teach in 2 environments. And we have so many things to do now that I hardly even recognize teaching. Things keep piling on and it is frustrating. It is. And you've already tried. So I brought an already tried story for you real quick. I just got this one. Last year, I just couldn't make any progress with my student. I tried everything I know, but he refused my offers. You know the kids, no parental support, not showing up. What am I supposed to do? Well, I'm going to try to give you some ideas about what you need to do. And I just want to remind you that if we have a child refusing our offer, that is not a reason to quit. All of us are teaching children, or we're teaching teenagers. And my message today is going to be that we don't give up. So we know these kids, here they come. They have a variety of names. They hide from us. They're scaredy cats. They're imposters. They're doing all kinds of things. But inside, it's just a smoke screen. So one of the things that I want to encourage you about is that by third grade, if you've studied mindsets at all, that fixed mindset, for today, we're going to call it an inflexible brain. And that means a brain that's not going with you. Now we're going to talk science. Your words, you're asking to try harder, you're caring and your love, because you know teachers have an abundance. That isn't always enough. We have to be able to change that inflexible brain to a flexible, fluid brain so that they'll go with you. Tricks like, boom, in my last session that I did, I taught everybody to do whoosh. 1, 2, 3, whoosh. And that's a fabulous way to change the brain. You can have kids stand up and you can have them touch things right around their desk, but you want to become brain changers. I thought it would be fun because it's summer to give you 2 swimming pool ideas. Here's a little swimming pool over here, you know, little plastic ones you blow up over here. And that's titled Inflexible Brains. And they're in there paddling around and you're like, come on over, come to my pool. Your pool's over here. It's the teacher pool. It's got lots of learning. It's got all your expertise. I'm telling you, you're good. It's over there. And you're like, come on over. The water's great. My water's warmer. I have toys in my pool. I have all kinds of great things. And guess what? They're not coming. They're not coming. And you're like, are you kidding me? Look at this. I have everything a kid would want to play with and all my knowledge and all my caring over here in this pool with me, but they're not coming. That inflexible brain just can't make that transition. So that's what we want to talk about. While we're doing that, then I want to be able to share with you about this class of 45. Thankfully, it got divided in half. Took a little in the face. Like, are you kidding? 45 at-risk seniors. So these kids had not passed the state test and they were all in the pool. You know the one, and it was crowded in there. I'm just saying, very crowded. And they'd lost hope. They had not passed the state test. Most were credit deficient, a lot of them in trouble with the law, many of them deplorable home situations. Dad in prison for rape, mom a drug addict and left the kid at 7th grade. You know, stories go on. You can just guess, right? And in that group that divided in half, in my half, I had 2 girls and the rest were boys. I had IEPs, I had 504s, I had mental illness, one with schizophrenia, I had Asperger's, I had everything you can ever dreamed of, and there we were. Well, here's the end of the story, because don't you just like want to read ahead and go, Brenda, open the book. We want to get them out of that pool over there. We want them to come to our pool. So the end of the story is they succeeded, and that means I succeeded. And the thing is, I used that after they started to tell them that that was important, that they helped me succeed. And together we did it. They got out of the pool, they came over there with me, and then they decided to give the things in the pool a try. I think it's probably the greatest experience I ever had. I'm so thankful to those kids. They literally became rock stars, and all of them, kids with second language, with English, all of them passed the state test. And I'm going to tell you up front, that's a miracle. I was praying that night before. It was a miracle, because if you had seen their skills when they came in. So one thing I wanted to do about those kids is share things, their voices. I want to share their voices. I want to share their voices about failing. And I also have a few drawings that they did, and I'm hoping it will just touch your heart. And when you're thinking about your pools, maybe you want to draw those pools right down there on the paper, and you're like, come on, kids. And you hear their stories, you're going to go, now you know your story. I tried everything I knew. I got other teachers involved. We know our stories, and we know how much we care. So by sharing this, I hope this will give you a little a little look into what they're doing and really make this real. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, here's some of the kids. This isn't all of them. They're kind of a rugged bunch, and we bought t-shirts at the end of this year. That's why they all look alike. The stories right here in this picture are excruciating, and some of these kids have a voice they're going to share with you. I'm going to read these like I'm the kids, and these are all, every box is a different student, but I'm kind of read it like a narrative, so I thought it would have a little more meaning for you. I am a slow worker. I was just left behind. It made me feel bad because I was so slow. Now I feel humiliated. I have no motivation. My teacher let me down by giving up on me. She let me sit in the back and be quiet and not do anything. I know I am smart, but why even try? An F brings me down. It makes me give up. I didn't give 100% because I didn't know how. I feel stuck. I was lost in the slacker class. I hated competing with the perfect kids. I didn't add on there that they also said that it always made them feel dumb. I was in a rut. Once I started to fail, I just let it come towards me. Believe it or not, 40% of kids believe they don't matter in your classroom. And when we hear that, we want to say that can't be possible with all the caring that we have. But if we really looked at what was happening, and this is overall, that's a staggering proportion. So take a look at this picture. This is Derek. Obviously, you can tell he has ADHD. His mother was a drug addict. He was left alone at 7th grade. My name is Derek. Can you see me? And can you hear me? If Derek is in your class, can you see him? This is Melissa. I'm quiet and shy and afraid to ask questions. Do you see me? You won't hear me. And I love her drawing that she did. She says, I don't even know why they try. It just goes in one ear and out the other. Just a reminder to us to be careful of too many words. A lot of these kids have working memory deficits, which means that when we talk and then we go to the next thing, that then they've forgotten what we said. That was my grandson. This is Joel. My name is Joel. I'm smart and capable. School weighs me down. The drama, the pain, the sadness of being in his situation. My name is Michael. I'm a second-year senior. I have an IEP. I'm probably I'm adding this, one of the most at-risk kids Miss McKinney ever had. No one sees me or hears me. I've not disappeared. I am still here. That slide kind of says it all, doesn't it? So here's another guy, and this is a paper bag puppet, but I'm telling you, this is exactly his mood and exactly what he looked like. And the depression that he experienced daily was very heavy on him. This is a piece of research for you. If the brain's not buying into your classroom learning, it's not changing. The neurons are not growing, the dendrites are not branching, and the gray matter is not changing. If the brain's not changing, it is not learning. And so that's something we want to really keep close to our heart. Here's the last one for you. Your 1,260 hours collectively have to be so spectacular that you can overcome the other 7,500 hours in your students' lives. You need to be that good, and you are that good. What I'm sharing with you today is that we need to find new ways. We're in a new normal, and the old things that we've done aren't enough. We want to look at the new science, the new research and learning to pave the way for our success and give us a start so we can reach these kids. And I just put a little thing up that I'm working right now on a class using these kids, and I have movies and testimonies, and I'm hoping down the road you'll be able to join me. So how exciting is that? Success from those kids. In case you want to know how I got those pictures, they were just pencil drawings that the kids did for me. Somebody was failing and they were really fabulous on the computer, and I said, if you can give these color, I'm going to give you a good grade on it. And they did. And I have a whole bunch more. but they're pretty spectacular.